There are plenty of videos out there showing you how to remove junk from Windows 10 and 11, but there's not many videos showing you how to stop Windows from just reinstalling it. That's our topic today, so stay tuned. Therefore, removing unnecessary software from Windows is absolutely essential. At this point, Windows has been bloated for so long that there are retail software packages available whose sole purpose is to remove the crap that comes pre-installed with Windows. The problem is many of these packages work great, but once you run Windows Update, half of the crap comes back anyway. Microsoft does this through a simple trick called provisioning. It's essentially a fancy way of saying that they're going to install whatever they want on your computer, whether you like it or not. But today I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So let's jump on the system, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so here we are in a really default version of Windows 11. And as you can see, we've got Copilot here. We've got Outlook, we've got essentially all of the junk that typically comes with a Windows 11 install. We've got Microsoft Office 365. We've got Microsoft Clipchamp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through. We're just gonna target a couple apps here because this method will work with most of the UWP apps that come built into Windows, which is essentially anything that you can get from the Microsoft Store. It won't get rid of stuff like, for instance, LinkedIn. But these aren't actually installed on your computer. Anyway, it's just links to the installer. So if you go and you hit uninstall, all it does is delete the ink link, and it goes away completely. You don't actually have to go through with that one, because it's not really installed in the first place. It shouldn't come back. Same thing with install WhatsApp. We can go ahead and just remove it from the list because it's not really installed. But some of the stuff that is installed are stuff like Outlook, things like Copilot, things like Microsoft Office, things like that are installed. So we're gonna go ahead and go through those today so I can give you an idea of how to get rid of them. So the first one we're gonna deal with is the UWP apps. Those are gonna be like Outlook, and they're also gonna be like Microsoft 365. That doesn't include Copilot, even though technically Copilot is a UWP app. Microsoft kind of protects it a little bit better than regular UWP apps, and they call it a core component of the operating system. But that's okay. We can still get rid of it, and I'll show you how. But first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and open up a PowerShell window just by clicking Start and typing in PowerShell. And then for this one right here, we want to make sure that we won't run PowerShell as an administrator. Hit yes to the user account control. And the first thing we're gonna do is look at what UWP apps we actually have installed currently right now, and to do that, what you do is type in get-apps provisioned package space dash online space. And then we want to use this little bar right here. This is called the pipe symbol. We're going to go ahead and hit space. And we're going to type in format dash table. And then we're going to type in package name, and then when you hit enter here it should. If you typed everything right, which of course I didn't. And as you can see that right here, I spelled package wrong, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and go back and spell this right this time. Hit enter and we should still get something wrong. Oh, you know what? Sorry, we will correct the word package here. You can search for it and copy the entire command from Google. We're gonna go ahead and spell package right in the two places. Apparently I have a problem with the word package, and we hit enter and now it works all right. So as you can see, this is the list of the UWP apps that we currently have installed right now. Now some of these apps you're not gonna wanna go ahead. You're not gonna wanna remove every single one of these apps, cause some of these are legitimately core components of Windows that you don't wanna remove. But there are some that simply aren't, that you are gonna want to remove. Like for instance, one good example is Microsoft Office Hub. This is Microsoft Office 365. Another one is Outlook for Windows. This is essentially just the free mail app that comes built into Windows. And then also you have Clipchamp right here. And as you can see, there is no Copilot because Copilot, like I said, is a protected Windows app. But you do have stuff like Ms. Teams and things of that nature. But like I said, I'm not gonna go through every single one of those. I'm just gonna go through a few today, just to show you how to do it. But if you want this list to be a little bit more formatted, what you can also do is use the same command that we did before. But instead of package name, go ahead and type in display name. Comma package name. And then that'll give you more of a formatted list. So it'll tell you kind of what the application is here. And the version number here. Now keep in mind this package name is just the version that you currently have installed, but what we're gonna be doing is going to deprovision the entire package, not just that version, so just keep that in mind too. So once you get to this point, what we're gonna wanna do is actually deprovision the app right now. So the one that I want to deprovision right now, first, is I want to go ahead and get rid of Microsoft Office Hub. So this is the Microsoft Office 365 that's built in. So what we're gonna do is use the package name right here. This is the version that's currently installed. We're gonna go ahead and highlight it just like this, and then hit Ctrl+C to copy. And then from there, we're gonna go down to the bottom right here. We're gonna type in remove -apex provisioned. Package. This time we're gonna spell it right. The first time I'm gonna space -online. And this is just talking about the online operating system. This is the operating system that's currently running right now, and then we're gonna put another dash. And we're gonna take package name for package. And then we want to paste in what we just copied. So that's gonna be curl v2 paste in Microsoft Office Hub, just like that, and then all we want to do at this point is go ahead and hit enter, and we should get this online. True, restart needed, false. So this is essentially a good response that you get, and that package is essentially deprovisioned now. Now, if we want to do another one, we can go ahead. Let's go through and let's deprovision. Let's do all right here. Let's do Outlook for Windows right here. This is one that I have to uninstall all the time, because I've got customers that use the actual Outlook. Not this silly one with the pointed top right here. And what ends up happening inevitably is I'll bring them their computer back, and they'll call me and tell me why his Outlook changed, and it hasn't. It's because they're clicking on the wrong link. So I usually uninstall this one constantly. But you don't want it just to reinstall itself. With Windows Update, which it will do, so go ahead and highlight that, and hit Ctrl+C for copy. And then all you have to do now is, since you've already typed this out, you just have to hit the up arrow to get it back. And then just delete the paste that you put in there before. And then hit Ctrl+V again to paste in the new one. And then hit enter, and it'll go ahead and deprovision it. Now, if you want to make sure that it's been deprovisioned, then go ahead and click on Start right here. Click on Regedit. Go ahead and open up your registry editor here. And then you want to go to Local Machine Software. And from Software you want to go Microsoft. And then you want to go Windows. So scroll down until you find the Windows key. Right here. And then from there we want to go Current Version. And then Apex, just like that. And then you want to hit Apex All Users Store. That's the first one right here. And then scroll over to the side, cause can't see where we're going anymore. And then we want to click on Deprovision right here. And as you can see, we have Microsoft Office Hub and Outlook for Windows. Now, as long as these keys are here, Don't worry about what's in this screen right here. That doesn't matter as long as they're right here, and they will not reinstall the next time you run Windows Update, or even when you do an in-place upgrade. And then everyone you run that command on will also be added to this section. Now keep in mind, though, that you could just add the name of the app. And as you can see, let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger here. As you can see, this name right here is different than the name we pasted in here. And the reason why is because what we pasted in was the actual version number of the app. Well, for the deprovisioning, it doesn't care about the version number, so it actually got the actual name of the app itself. In order to uninstall it, so you don't have to worry about just this version not reinstalling, but all versions of that app won't reinstall at this point forward. But like I said, you can just add the link or the key right here to the deprovision to tag in the registry if you don't want it to install. But the problem is that this isn't all this command does. This command does more than just add this line to the registry. Right here, what this command does is it actually removes this app from the package itself, so that way, if you create a new account on the same system, it won't just throw these same programs in there. It removes them from the system image itself, as well as adding it to the registry. So you want to actually deprovision by using this command, not just by throwing this inside of the registry. However, just throwing it inside the registry will stop it from installing. Now once you do that, the next stage is just to click Start. Go to All Programs, and at this point, you still have to uninstall the app itself. Because what we just did doesn't actually uninstall the app. What we did right now only deprovisions it. So you gotta go ahead and uninstall it anyway. Now keep in mind, you can only really do this for apps that are already installed on your computer. You can't really run that command on apps that aren't installed because you gotta get this name right here. But if you already did install one of these apps, you can Google what the UWP name is for certain apps, and you can find it that way also. But it might not be 100% successful because sometimes Google results aren't as accurate as you'd like them to be. Now, if you're paying attention, you probably noticed that I left a pretty big piece of bloatware just out there in the open, and that would be Copilot. This method previously would have worked with Copilot, but Microsoft has made it a core function of the OS, and as such it isn't able to be deprovisioned. But if you know me, then you know that I don't give up very easy, because there is a simple way to get around that. Let's jump back in the system, and I'll show you what to do. Okay. So since we have the registry already open, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll down here, and we're gonna go all the way back up to the top, right here, right up into local machine. And then we're going to go back into software again, and from software, we want to go into policies this time. So in policies, then we're going to go into Microsoft. Then from Microsoft, we're going to go into Windows right here. And then from Windows, we want to actually add. You're gonna have to look and see if you have Windows Copilot as a key in here. If you don't, you probably won't. Go ahead and hit New Key and type in Windows Copilot, and then go ahead and hit Enter. And then from here in the white stage right here, you want to right-click, hit New, and hit D-Word 32-bit value, and then you want to type in Turn Off Windows Copilot, and then hit Enter. And then go ahead and double-click on that and change it to 1. Now once doing this, it doesn't actually do anything. And you've probably noticed that if you've ever tried doing this before, because there's one more step that you actually have to do. At this point, go ahead and close this. Click on Start, go to All Apps. And then you actually have to remove the app you have to go ahead and hit uninstall and remove the app. I tested this, and after adding that ... see if you don't add that registry key. The next time you run Windows Update, it'll put Copilot right back on the computer. But if Windows Update detects that key has been set to turn off Copilot, it doesn't reinstall it. So apparently by setting that registry key, it removes it from being a core component of the operating system. So good riddance, Copilot. Now at this point, you should be able to safely run Windows Update without worrying about these apps reinstalling themselves. Now there's many apps within Windows that you can uninstall that actually do stay gone. One of those, believe it or not, is OneDrive. Up until recently, OneDrive was a provisioned app as well, but it was removed by Microsoft. So now when you uninstall it, it actually stays gone. But the whole purpose for provisioning is not to make the experience better for users. Ultimately, all of these apps, Microsoft has financial motivation to keep on your computer. They don't care about us specifically. They know we're not gonna use these apps, and they know that we're gonna continue to uninstall them. But here's the thing, we're not their target audience. But what they do want is to make sure that these apps are reinstalled when we uninstall them for someone else. Whether that be, like in my case, a customer, or in your case or others. If you work on a different computer, this is the same reason why you don't see Microsoft account warning screens on the first few days after you install Windows without a Microsoft account, because they're waiting for you to bring the computer back to whoever you're setting it up for, and then those nag screens will start. They don't care about you. But with that said, once following this guide, these apps shouldn't reinstall themselves again. Unless, of course, Microsoft changes something or you reinstall them. But they still won't be provisioned even if you reinstall them. But either way, we'll deal with that when the time comes. But if you don't want to stop at just removing Copilot, and you want to get rid of all the AI in Windows 11, then check out this video here, where I show you how to do just that. One of these days, Microsoft's gonna figure out that we just don't want all this AI crap anymore. But until then, you can always remove it. As always, you guys have a great day. PL, contact me at if you need somethings above.